Handmaid's Tale. I am really enjoying this a lot. I'm taking a lot of notes, but like I have expressed in the past, it's hard to stop myself when I'm really into it. But I'm getting better, so that's good. I wrote down in my notes that I wanted to talk about in my vlog. I think it's really hard to close read a novel because there's so much going on, and maybe it's not so hard to close read it as it is to discuss it in class, because in Wednesday's class there were so many things that were brought up that were important, but there were a million, it's a hyperbole, many more things in my notes that we didn't even get to that I either had questions about or just thought were probably important, and I know everything's there for a reason, so there's just so much going on, and I wish we had more time to cover everything. And I kept noticing new things, like if I would go back on my own or during class when someone would make a point, and I would go back and look at what they were saying, so that's another thing. And then one thing I think I kind of mentioned it in my vlog from when we didn't have class, but I've noticed that even though it's dystopian and it's not in this time, or at least probably ahead of our time or something, just so many things feel really old. And I think that's kind of the point, because it's religious extremists, right? So that's just something that's been standing out to me. And yeah. So on Wednesday, when we had Garth, at first I was kind of quiet and nervous because he was new and everything. And I know this might sound weird, but it was kind of sad not seeing you for a whole week. So I'll see you Monday and it'll be great. But at first I just didn't really participate, but then once the conversation picked up, I had a lot to say. And the things we spent a lot of time on were storytelling, which I had definitely picked up on, because I don't think you could read this and not, but I didn't know it was such a crucial part to the plot. So it was cool. We spent a lot of time on that. And then none of us had picked up on this, and he pointed it out to us before we left, but the exchange value and how everything's transactional. And so that it kind of messed with me, because he brought it up 3 minutes before class ended, and I'm like, wait, I need to talk about this more. So I think we'll probably talk about it Monday, or hopefully we will. And then the last thing he left us with was the quote on page 117, from each according to her ability, to each according to his needs. And I didn't really think too deeply about that, but then I started after he pointed out its importance, and it's whoa, that's infuriating. So yeah, overall Wednesday's class was really good. It was definitely a different experience because you weren't there, and just his personality and yours are very different, but it was a good time. I'm looking forward to things going back to normal next week. So yeah. I'm splitting this up into parts this week, so I have things to make cuts with. So my last little part is annotated bibliography. I have been reading my articles that I originally picked out, and let me pull it up. The one called Just a Backlash, Margaret Atwood, Feminism and the Handmaid's Tale, I definitely want to use this one. There's so much information in it. I'm just getting a little overwhelmed with how to pull the important things out, and I think I'm gonna have to go back and revise my prospectus, but everything in this was about like the politics of what was going on in the 1980s, and then what's in The Handmaid's Tale. And because this one also brings up the opera, I decided that I'm probably not going to use the article I had chosen that was just about the opera. Plus, I don't really know how I would fit that in relation to my prospectus. I just thought it was cool because I'm a musician. But I think I'm going to take that one off because we only have to do 5 sources. No, I have like 7 or 8. And then one I'm on the fence about using is The Handmaid's Tale Overview by Madan Miner, because it's really, really short, so I don't know if I could like write extensively about it. And it's also, it says overview, but it's only about romance and love, which is definitely a lot of the novel, but it only focuses on Luke in comparison to the commander, which is like a really cool thing I didn't actually think about yet, and then how Nick is different from them. But I don't know if it would really work with what I wanted to research, so that one I'm still going to think about. But I think I'm definitely going to have to come meet with you because this annotated bibliography thing's kind of freaking me out. And I will finish paper 2 up and submit that by tomorrow. And that's awesome. And I know we were supposed to have a guest star, but I reached out to like 10 people and they either didn't answer or already had someone, so I did as much as I could, but sorry about that.